Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of Pawspectives Petcast. My name is Yenting and I'm the host for this podcast. Today, we're going to ask some tough questions. We're going to talk about the animals that we don't always talk about. And basically, these are the ones that are on the streets. And we're diving into Malaysia's stray animal crisis, what's really going on, and why, despite all of the rescue efforts, shelters, adoptions, we still have thousands of stray animals roaming our streets. Why do we call it a crisis? I think it sounds a bit dramatic, but really the exact number of stray animals is not definitely known, but it's definitely big and growing. I'm joined by Asther Lau today, the founder of Animal Kindness Coalition, or AKC, is a non-profit organization that works to protect and improve the well-being of animals and the community through coexisting and kindness. And later, we'll also spotlight a very special story, a cat named DaFei, who survived being abandoned and is now walking tall, quite literally, with thousands following his journey. So let's begin. Hi, Asther. Welcome
Hello.
to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me and thank
Yeah, very nice to have you here. And I think I would like to just jump into the tough question, if you don't
Okay.
mind. Asther, I know you've spent years working on animal welfare, working with local councils, shelters, rescuers, and communities to tackle this problem head on, right? Let's talk about the bigger picture. What is actually happening with strays in Malaysia right now?
Okay, so the wider picture of it all is that the strays here are not accepted by the community. Although there is a change of perception slowly, I see that it's progressing towards more positive change, but the progress is still quite slow. Majority of the strays here are not accepted because they are seen as pests. They are seen as dirty animals, unwanted animals on the street. They're not even seen as wildlife who are protected in some ways, right? But stray animals are seen to be dirty and at one point, stray dogs especially aggressive. Stray cats to be a nuisance because they will go into people's house and things like that. So, yeah, in general sense, it's just very unfortunate that they do not get a very good acceptance and a very good perspective from the public. Yeah.
So, and there's also a lack of support.
There's definitely a lack of support towards the strays' existence in Malaysia because we are still a developing country. Yeah, we are not a developed country yet where there is a lot more compassion and understanding of how to protect both the animals and the people and the community. But being a developing country, the focus is more on developing, growing, building. So there's not much of a focus on nurturing and protecting.
Yeah, so definitely we've got the high stray population. I think shelters as well. It's constantly overcrowded.
Yes.
Not enough support there
Yeah.
as well. And you're seeing lack of support from the government or lack of support from who?
Okay, so there's lack of support from everywhere actually.
Okay.
There's a lot of shelters, you'd be surprised, in Malaysia. A lot of shelters that are not known and some are known, but there's no proper structure being given to them to set up to be properly run and effectively taking care of the animals. And the government has no direct support towards these animal shelters. Their focus is more on livestocks. Great. Once again, it brings money. It boosts up economy, but they do not realize that stray animals, if you turn them around to be part of the community animals, they do also bring economy to our society through pet ownership. Yeah, but right now the main focus is what they know, which is livestock. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, so the government do not put funding aside for population control, which is sterilization. They don't really put aside money for vaccinations. They don't really put aside money for rehoming and also sheltering. Yeah, to them, the money that goes in there is just to eliminate the existence of these animals, of these strays. Yeah.
I mean, it's really heartbreaking to hear, and it just feels like endless, right? And
Yeah.
we see people rescuing, adopting, but the problem still persists. And for me as a pet parent, it feels so sad to watch strays suffer, and especially when you see them like limping if they're sick or injured.
So so the current methodology being used by the government is actually to catch and kill,
Right.
right? So they will catch, they remove from that area, and then they kill.
And what is the issue if we do that?
So the issue here is this: there's this term that we call vacuum effect. You take away all the strays, you remove them, kill them, whatever you do, the new strays will come in because there's the source of shelter, space, food. So in the end of the day, the cycle repeats
So
itself.
you're saying it's not a sustainable way because every time we remove strays from an area, new animals will actually come back.
Yes, yeah. The new animals will actually come back. Yes. And based
see.
on our experience working on the ground, we realize that whenever the new strays comes in, they tend to be more timid. They tend to be more fearful of people. So it's harder for us to actually catch them and neuter them to stop the reproduction.
So then tell us, what is the sustainable solution here?
We actually believe in this scientifically proven solution, which is called TNVRM. TNVRM.
Okay.
But if you Google for TNRM, that's the most common name used,
Okay.
which is trap, neuter, vaccinate, release or return, the R can also be rehome.
Okay.
And M, which is manage.
Manage.
Yes, yeah. So trap, neuter, vaccinate, return or rehome, and manage.
Right.
Yeah. So trapping, we believe in a humane way of catching these animals because you do not want to traumatize them. We want them to trust humans because in the end of the day, we want to release them back to where they originally came from. And then for them to learn to coexist with the humans. So if you want them to make friends with you, make friends from the start. So you catch them humanely, they will realize, oh, you're not actually trying to hurt me.
Yeah.
So then we send them to the vet, we get them sterilized, neuter or castrate. And at the same time, we have them vaccinated. Vaccinated to protect them from diseases as well as to protect us humans from zoonotic diseases such as rabies.
Right.
So we do have them vaccinated for rabies as well. And then after they heal, at the vet, they actually get assessed by the professional vet.
Yeah.
Then the vet will tell us, oh, this one actually has some problem. I don't think you should return it back to the street. Then we will think of another way, whether rehome, rehab, or send it, worst case scenario, to a responsible shelter.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's where the process of filtering comes in before we decide whether to release or relocate.
Oh, that's nice, because then you know whether they're fit to live in the streets or whether they can be rehomed or like what the next steps are.
Yes, yeah. So once they are ready,
Yeah.
they healed from the surgery, we will return them back to their original location. But for a TNVRM to work, we need to return 70 to 80% of the original population to their original place.
Right. That to what we mentioned just now is then to keep the
Correct.
population going so that no new strays would then come. Right?
Yes. So this 70 to 80% original population will stay on. They stabilize the population, they protect the area while we continue to sterilize the rest of the
So then you
population.
just keep growing in the size of the area.
Yes.
So, interesting, because when I did my research, I learned that TNR, I guess in short, can be pretty controversial.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of organizations and countries that actually oppose TNR.
Yeah.
Because probably I think they're saying that it creates more abandonment. It's hard to implement countrywide because I think you're implementing it area by area, right? So, but there are also obviously organizations that advocate for it. What's your take on this?
So after a few years of going like self-learn on TNR on the street, I realized that there's a lot of people who do not practice TNVRM correctly. So why do I say they don't do it correctly? It's because number one, they don't return the 70 to 80% back to the place. Number two, they do not practice M, which is manage.
M is manage, okay.
Yes. They do not work with the community to monitor or to take care of the strays that has been returned, the TNR dogs that has been returned back to the community.
Right. So the M, how do you actually manage it?
So the M, that's where the community comes in. The community will make sure the animals are fed, make sure the animals do not have any conflict with the existing community around. Because sometimes there are people who are afraid of these strays, or there are people who definitely just do not like these strays. Just at the sight of them, they just do not like it. Then that's where the community needs to come in to learn, to teach each other, to empower each other on how to coexist peacefully. Yeah, so without the M part, then there will be conflict, because when there's an issue, nobody is there to mediate, and usually the voiceless ones are the victim because they can't speak for themselves. Yeah. So that's where the issues comes in. But we believe in TNVRM thanks to what we have learned from IPWA. IPWA is an NGO based in Penang, Penang Island. Yeah, so they are an NGO that has been doing TNR for coming, I think, 7.5 years now.
Wow.
With the collaboration of the local council there and BPP. So these two entities actually work together, like having an official MOU, to run the TNR program on the island, to control the population of the strays there. At the same time, although there's no mention of M in their MOU, but IPWA is actually doing the M by working with the feeders and the local communities to make sure that the strays that they release back there are protected and taken care of, to ensure there's no conflict between.
So the entire Penang Island is actually running this TNR program. Wow, that's amazing.
And just last month, if not mistaken, or just a few weeks ago, Seberang Perai, which is the main lane of Penang, has just signed an MOU to run the same program. So we're pretty happy about it, because it is a proven track record. You can see that you can go to Penang now, and I dare you to just drive around half an hour and tell me how many stray dogs do you see on the streets. Yeah, it's going to be really hard. Yeah.
Wow. So I think I want to know exactly what is AKC's mission today, and how is it different from, let's say, another rescue group or shelter?
Okay, so we are not a shelter-based NGO.
Okay.
A lot of, I think I would say 70% of our NGO in Malaysia are shelter-based, but not us in AKC. We believe in strays population control in a more humane and scientifically way. Hence, we adopt the TNVRM methodology. So that's our core mission. Basically, we actually work on projects, area-focused projects, on sterilizing the population of the strays there, working together with the local government and also the community there. So it has to be a whole society approach. That's our belief. Our second core mission is actually awareness on responsible pet ownership, because the root cause of strays overpopulation is actually irresponsible pet owners. Yeah.
Okay.
So pet owners has a lot of different definition. It doesn't need to be you who like an individual, you have a dog or a cat at home.
Yeah.
And just that, no. Pet owners can be a farm owner. Pet owners can be a contractor who is developing a site, and he will bring his own dogs there and he lets them roam, but he doesn't sterilize them. They start to reproduce. So that's also one of the main issue that we have, especially in developing countries. There are a lot of pet owners who also do not believe in sterilizing their pets, and yet they also do not believe in putting their pets indoor. They let their pets free roam outside. So when the female goes on heat, they get pregnant, they come home, and then the owner gets overwhelmed, say, oh, I've got so many puppies that I cannot take care of. Never mind, I will just let them go out and just, find their way. So that's where the strays started.
Probably it's also a lack of education, and like they just don't know.
It's just old school thinking.
Right.
Yeah, it's just old school. Like the level of awareness on how we evolutionize as we become more urban is not there yet. Yeah. So when we go to school, you learn about systemized progress of how you live your life, but you were not taught about how to interact with the nature, how to interact with the wild. Not so often. Not all the schools have
No.
this syllabus. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you mentioned about being that it's a more efficient way as well, right? So what about cost-wise? So what's TNR's cost like versus other efforts? Is it really expensive to execute, which is why it's not being widely adopted?
I would say, I remember going through a discussion with a few of the leaders of NGOs in Malaysia a few months, I think last year. We were comparing about the cost of running a shelter for, let's say, 200 dogs, the cost of catch and kill for 200 dogs, and the cost of TNVRM for 200 dogs.
Okay.
We concluded that the final total is plus minus about the same in a year. We're talking about annual expenses. The only difference here is that for TNVRM, it's one-time use, that's it.
And then it's sustained throughout
And
the
then,
years.
yeah. But shelter, I can guarantee to you, not all shelters neuter their animals inside, cats or dogs, because they can't afford. Not a lot of shelters can afford to neuter 100% of their cats and dogs in their shelter. So, and ended up, they may also need to result in euthanasia as well if their population increasing. And whenever there are animals that died or get adopted or, just given away, then they will overnight fill it up again from everywhere else. People giving in, surrendering, abandonment. So the shelter is just never sustainable.
Right.
Yeah. And with catch and kill is the vacuum effect.
It will come back
It will come
with
back
a vengeance.
with
probably.
a vengeance. Yes. Yeah. So yeah.
So sounds like it is the more sustainable solution, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And I think, having the broader strategy is one thing, but sometimes, it's the story of one animal that reminds us why it matters so much. So I want to take a short pause here to share the story of DaFei, a cat who survived abandonment and is now inspiring others. So today I want to share the story of DaFei, a cat who was abandoned, injured, and left to survive on his own. And today he walks with such confidence, curiosity, and to me, he's actually a little bit of a celebrity. So you might have seen him on Instagram, DaFei_ the walking cat. And behind every cute video that you've probably seen is actually a second chance that almost did not happen. So joining me today is Ming Hui, DaFei's human caretaker and the reason that he's still here. So Minghui, take us back. Tell us what happened and how did DaFei come into your life?
So back then, life was a little bit chaotic at that moment.
Yeah.
So I felt something was really missing and I need a companion. So like everyone else, at first my thought is I wanted a kitten. So I looked through social medias and everything, trying to get a kitten so I can raise them since young and bond a stronger bonds with them. And that's when I come across Voice for Paw, an NGO who helps to rehome stray. And also met Lydia. Her actually is DaFei Rescue. So she rescued DaFei when DaFei was near to death, like close to death. And he actually went through 2 major surgery just to survive. So thanks to Fur Kid Wellness team, they actually, fought hard with the death and bring him back. And also thanks to DaFei.
For really being strong and surviving.
Yeah, so he really trying to, stay, don't never give up and just stay. I mean, I really appreciate he actually fought through.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at first I actually got my eyes at a beautiful Oyen kitten, but because back then I was moving house, so I cannot get the kitten right away. That's why Lydia introduced DaFei, who also called Mikey at first.
Okay.
Yeah.
His name was called Mikey initially. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
correct. Then after listening to all his story, I feel like DaFei really need a second chance. And it feels like he chose me and I chose him at the same time. We are saving each other.
So what happened to him when Lydia rescued him?
So he actually got hit by a car. So all his mouth is maggot, you know? Yeah.
All his,
Mouth full of maggot.
oh my God.
Yeah. So at that time, actually, doctors is kind of like saying that he might not get through.
Yeah.
You know, he might just die. But they try. They try very, very hard. And that's why he went through like 2 very major surgery.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, one of it is like something about the diaphragm just broke. Yeah, so they actually trying to fix it back.
Wow.
Yeah, so all his organs like mess up at that moment.
How did you feel when you first heard this story?
Honestly, I cried so hard.
What do you think would have happened to DaFei if you hadn't found him?
Honestly, this is like a very heavy questions and I can't really imagine about it.
Yeah.
I think maybe he was still, going to every
Homes and-
adoption drive
Yeah.
and then keep foster here and there and waiting for someone who actually see how special he is and get adopt him, I guess. But I feel very thankful our path actually crossed and yeah, it feels very blessing each day with
Yeah.
him.
So it's been about 3 years now, right?
Yeah.
And I imagine when you first rescued him or when you first adopted him, it must be quite hard because he's obviously also been through a lot. What was the first moment that you realized that you and him built a bond and that he trusted you?
Honestly, DaFei and I, we are like meant to be each other. Like we chosen each other because the time when I see him at the adoption drive, I actually met him at the adoption drive. He straight away walked towards me.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's like he just knew. He just
Yeah.
came to you.
correct. He just came to me and rubbed against me and asked for more pet. Using the head and trying to ask for more pet. Like we knew each other forever.
It's meant to be.
Yeah. So, it just like he's telling me that I have been waiting for you to come. So when I brought him home, it's also like he will follow me around like each corner in my house. But maybe to really realize he trusted me is when one day he just rests his head on my lap. Yeah, and he just like so peaceful.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that moment I feel like, yeah,
This is the feeling. I think initially you were saying you felt like empty or something.
Yeah.
Probably that's the feeling that
I need.
you were looking for.
Yeah, so at that moment, I even whispered to her, like I whispered to him, like, don't worry, you're home, and I will never abandon you again.
And so tell us, how is DaFei like now? Like, what's his personality at home?
So, like I say, he's a little shadow. He's following me everywhere, even I go to toilet. So, and he will also curl up beside my laptop. If I work from home, he will curl up there like he's working with me. Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, he will never leave me. And he will also like hugging my hand like every night.
So he's very
Go to-
clingy.
Yeah,
It's
very,
not like a lot of the cats that we hear. It's like they have their own life. They don't really.
you don't come to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, if I need you, I will come to you. DaFei is not that case. It never have that moment of I don't need you. I think maybe because he don't have like he got abandoned before, so he tried to be even more like give even more love to me, I guess. So
So what commands does DaFei respond to?
so he will come, like he'll touch the nose. Yeah, he'll give you hand, high five, spin and turn and sit pretty, think something like that. Yeah, and a lot more coming.
Wow.
Yes.
So even he is now 9, he's still learning new tricks.
Yes,
That's amazing,
Yes.
right? Really different from the life that he had
before.
before.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I actually always would like to let people, like a lot of people know that it doesn't matter how old is the pet, as long as you have the connection, as long as you give love
Yeah.
to them, they actually give even more love back to you. Yeah, and they really deserve a second chance. Just go with the flow.
Yeah.
And I honestly I never thought that I can, like bond with DaFei like this much because I'm scared too. Like what if he keep thinking what his previous life before, like what he doesn't like me. I understand that a lot of people will have that thought. Same goes to me. But see where are we right now? Yeah. So it just give them the love. That's all they need.
I know he's a little bit of a celebrity on like Instagram, right? What is the reactions been like from his fans? Like, what do your friends and his friends normally respond to all his adventures?
I think it's very heartwarming because I never thought that people will like the content that we make. Taffy is not only the little sunshine in my life, he is also a little sunshine for other people.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to think back that when you found him, he was car accident, maggots all over and all of that, and now he's a sunshine in so many people's lives. So I think for people who are thinking of adopting, please do not wait. Like,
Yes.
give the pet a second chance, but also give yourself a second chance, right? Stories like DaFei's are heartwarming, but they also point to a bigger truth. Rescue alone isn't always the solution, right? So what is the solution here?
Yeah, I started as a rescuer. I actually started as just a good Samaritan that would took pity of the many strays in my neighborhood, and people started complaining. They said, "Oh, call the local council, call the local council to sort it out." And I know that these strays, once they get caught, they will be treated really badly and they will get killed. So I didn't agree with that concept, and I went down. I posted a message on our Facebook group. I said, "Hey, hey neighbors, any one of you would like to come join hand with me and try to resolve this issue. Let's rehome these strays." I was very ambitious then. Let's rehome all of them.
Yeah.
So we were lucky to have maybe 10 to 12 people that came forward, and we have no experience in catching
How many
stray
strays were you
dogs.
looking to rehome at that point in time?
If I remember correctly, when we first started, the population in just that small corner of around my condo, there are about 60.
Wow.
60
So
strays
you're
there.
looking for 60 pet parents,
Yeah.
okay?
And then down the commercial area, there's another 20.
Okay.
Plus minus.
Ah.
Yeah. So we're looking at 80 overall because our area is what do you call this? A place where it used to be the Orang Asli settlement.
Right.
Although it gives me satisfaction that every time I know this dog get a good home, it's still not solving the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not solving the problem of the bigger picture, right?
Bigger picture of, because the
Yeah.
population of the animals still there. The number of dogs on the street, especially when they're on heat, is still there. A lot of noise at night. People still complaining. It's not solving the problem. And the local council's interest was just that no more complaint come in. We actually reached out to the local council.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we did. And said, "Hey, we want to help solve the problem with this overpopulation of strays here.
Yeah.
Can you not catch and kill? Can you help us catch and we will rehome?"
Yeah.
Then they said, "We cannot catch for you, but we will let you do the catching. We will not come and disturb you guys. But as long as you can help us bring down the number of complaints, we will not come to your area." So that's where we came in. We rescue. Number still the same. I was like, okay, this is not the solution. And one of our panel vet, Dr. Teo, she told us, "Why don't you do TNR?" That's when it was like, oh, okay. Then that's when I was like, all right, I have seen this TNR term before. I Googled for it. It came out as the first answer on how to control stray population, but I didn't understand how to do it. All I needed was shelter.
Exactly.
safe
I
farm,
was just going to
safe
ask,
farm,
like, why don't you
know?
send them to the shelter?
Yeah. So that's the concept that I understood at that time, but
Right.
it's not solving the problem. So in the end, we decided to try TNVRM. But by then, it was just a small handful of volunteers in our community. The only active person was just me and Helen at that time.
Right.
And then we have, thankfully at that time it was just MCO, so we have a lot of fosters, volunteers, and thankfully they come and help us. And then we have also friends who would donate, and they are more empathetic with what we wanted to do. So we managed to neuter 80% of the population, I think, in about 3 or 4 years since we started the TNR. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's huge progress.
Yeah.
So why isn't shelter be the solution then?
The shelter is just a place to keep all these animals for the rest of their life. So let's say a typical dog, they can live up to 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're lucky. For a cat, it's like 15 to 16 years old. How much can a shelter keep, right? So let's say the space that you have is for 200 dogs and cats, but out there are more. Then how can you sustain 16 years of the life of these animals while ignoring the ones outside there? You can't, right?
True.
Then there'll be new shelters coming up. But truth to be told, the shelter owners are usually just 1 or 2 people. And then they struggle to find money to pay for workers.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have to do everything themselves. And often enough, there are a lot of rescuers who ended up creating their own mini shelters in their own home. And then they created conflict with their neighbors. So it's not going to be sustainable for a shelter. And to rehome, to be honest, even in 2023, there's a local government who did a survey, right? A community survey on the rate of adoption. So there were, I think, 500 people who filled up the survey.
Okay.
And out of these 500, I think it's 80% or 80+% bought their pets.
So it's 500 people, 80% actually bought their pet instead of
Adopting. The rate of adoption is
That's
so
so high.
low. It's so low in terms of adoption awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that happening? Why are people? I mean, because I feel like I hear a lot of adoption activities and like noise out there, but it's so surprising to hear that only 80%. Sorry, that means less than 20% of people are actually adopting, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think there's a lot of reason why they are not adopting. Number one, of course, they prefer a specific breed. And that's not entirely their fault, because if they stay in a condo, there's the
Right.
size and breed restriction given. Other than that, it's also the lifestyle that they want to live, because when generally our local breed, I call them Malaysian specials.
Malaysia special.
Yeah, so our local Malaysian specials are medium-sized breeds.
Yes.
They need exercise, they need their walks, they
Can't be stuck in a condo.
They can't be
Yeah.
stuck in a condo. They're not toy
Yeah.
animals. No, they need to be out there. So not many people can adjust a lifestyle to every day I have to go out and jog and walk with
true.
my dogs. Not many people are willing to do that at this point, especially not in Asia when the weather is so hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is possible. It's just a matter of change of mindset. Yeah. I'm glad that we do still have adopters who adopted the local Malaysian breeds, and they can be really good, responsible pet owners. Actually, they can. It's just a matter of adjusting their mindset. Yeah.
I think there definitely are a lot of responsible pet owners, and I know that a lot of our listeners are very like engaged with this conversation. They want to help, but I think for a lot of us who love animals, we actually don't know where and how to start. So
Yes.
what can we do? And like, let's be realistic. What can we really do as like just ordinary pet parents?
I think it would be very good to first know what you want
Yeah.
from your pet. What kind of pet do you want, and what kind of lifestyle do you want to live on? And then at the same time, how much do you want to contribute back to the animal welfare community? Because truth to be told, I bought my first dog, right? And he was the one who taught me about my being compassionate to the strays outside my condominium. I grew up with local breeds. My brother would go and pick puppies back home, and then we will take care of them. And then, they are all local breeds.
Yeah.
But I ended up buying one, surprise, surprise, right? But because I stay in a condo, because I want a hypoallergenic breed,
Okay.
right? But after I know about my dog and I realized that it's so unfair that you have a good life, but the one on the street doesn't have. Let's see what we can do to bring the gap nearer. So that's when I go down. I understand the strays more. I learn more. Then the memories of my childhood came back, how I took care of the pets that we have at home. They stay outside the house, of course,
Yeah.
but then I was like, hey, they can actually be quite clean. You just need to ensure hygiene, just like how you take care of your child. Because I am a mother, so then there's a comparison that is no difference. Of course, they shed more compared to hypoallergenic breed, but in the end of the day, it's possible still to keep them as clean as possible if you set a routine
Right.
that you believe in and you just follow through with it. Yeah.
What about for pet parents who can't actually adopt another dog? What can they do to help in this?
There's a lot of other ways that you can do. Number one, be the voice of the animal welfare community. There's a lot of hatred going on out there, especially on social media. These days, we have people just being keyboard warriors saying that, oh, there's this dog that is aggressive and beat someone. The newspaper, the press media has been highlighting a lot of aggression lately. But then if you can find out more what's the root cause of the attack, for instance, or of the incident, then you'll find out it's actually human induced once again, and then be the voice of it. Otherwise, just speak kind, just be kind, just speak kindly about these animals. Donate to all the effort that's been put in to help solve this problem, even to the shelters, to TNR programs, even donate to effort to do more kinder activities like what this program is, like this podcast as well.
Right.
Yeah, just promote positivity, promote kindness, and in the end of the day, if you can't adopt, foster. If you can't
That's
foster, go and help volunteer, go and help at the adoption drive, go and help in the shelter. Once you step in the shelter, then you will realize the true life of a shelter dog and a shelter cat. Then you will realize that the quality and the dignity of their life is actually not really there. Yeah.
Wow.
So what AKC believe in is that as much as we can, we want to fight for their rights to live and their rights to live in a dignified way.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think we can definitely be part. We don't want to be part of the problem. We definitely can be part of the solution. And just hearing from you, there's actually so many things that just ordinary pet parents can do.
Yes, many. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for
so
sharing all
many.
of that.
Yeah.
Esther, as a closing tradition, we always ask our guests one question, which is, what's one perspective that has changed your life?
I think the word responsible is the main thing that is guiding me right now in whatever I do, especially in animal welfare. In the animal welfare section, you need to be responsible in terms of how you rescue. You need to be responsible in how you advocate. You need to be responsible in how you keep your pet or in how you rehome your rescue. Responsibility, it has been taken very lightly because everyone is following their emotional needs. They are no longer thinking about how to do this responsibly. They are only thinking about, I need to do this. That's it.
Yeah.
They don't care how it's going to be done. They just want to get it done. So that's where I find there's a lot of problem coming up from people who are not doing things responsibly. And that's where AKC comes in. We believe in setting up programs that are more structured and approach that is more holistic, involving the involvement of everyone, not just one entity, because we don't believe in one person or one entity to solve everything. It's not possible at all. All stakeholders needs to join hands.
Everyone
together.
is to come in
Yes.
together as an
Yes,
ecosystem.
yeah, because if you're just one person doing it, you will fall. There'll be burnout. There'll be your resources will not be sustainable, and the whole system will crash. Yeah.
So be responsible.
Be responsible. So before you do anything, ask yourself, can I continue this in a week time, in a year time? Am I responsible enough to make this decision? If I make this decision, what will happen? And do I have a backup for it?
Yeah.
Don't just do it because I want to save a life. Because in the end of the day, you save a life now, but this life may continue on suffering.
It's true. I think a lot of us don't think so deeply into it as well. And it's something that we need to start, talking about and raising that awareness, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so Asther, thank you so much for being here and sharing the big picture of what's happening with strays and all the things that pet parents can actually do. I've learned so much today, understanding what TNR is, understanding the vacuum effect, understanding like all the things that we as ordinary pet parents can do. And we don't always have to do all this big rescue shelter thing, but just taking small actions, right,
Yes.
is what really matters. And if each and every one of us can start taking small actions today, can you imagine? Like, that would really help the community.
The easiest way today, after your audience listen to this, I hope that you just go back and speak, bring a topic out about animal welfare. Talk to it to your parents. Talk to it to your children or to your work colleagues tomorrow. Just bring out a topic and just make it a conversation. Because if you don't talk about it, it gets people forget about
To
it.
ignore it, yeah.
People do not realize about it, and then everything else become more prioritized.
Yeah. That's amazing. So thank you for sharing all of that today. But pet parents, please do your own research and talk about it, because the more informed we are, the better choices we can actually make for pets and animals all over the world. So thank you so much. And signing off, see you guys in the next episode.